back down on the plot. Good news is that after about 3 months of having virtually no rain at all, we finally had 2 days of non-stop rain. This is the first day where it's, well, it's supposed to rain I think later on today, but there's a little break in it, which is good. It's allowed me to come down on the plot. But there's been quite a lot going on. As you can see, the bay tree, I've chopped that right back, taken the top off, removed all the lower branches, and I managed to fit another bed just in here. So I'm going to try and line that with cardboard, and then I'm going to leave that until I can get some manure on there, and hopefully then ready for next season. That's going to be a great bed to use. And the other thing I've been doing is I had a whole load of tomato plants that were left in the polytunnel, and to be honest I was thinking of just throwing them out, but the bed where I had the onions, I've decided to, well, they all got cleared out a couple of weeks ago, and then in there I've put the tomato plants. There's quite a few in there. I'm not sure if they're going to grow in time. My neighbours put a whole load in their beds as well, so we're both in the same boat, so let's see how that goes. But hopefully, yeah, these will grow up, and even if they don't fruit, a lot of you gave me some good ideas last year about ripening green tomatoes, so it's still worth keeping them and seeing how they go. And then this morning, the thing I'm most happy about is great big sunflowers come out to see me, which is good, and it's a double header. So, well, actually it might even be a triple header. You've got this one, and then there's one over the back there. There's another one here, so that's spectacular. I wasn't expecting that. The courgette plant down here has also started to flower. There's one right open here. The only problem is, well, I don't know if you're supposed to pollinate them, the male and the female ones. I'm not quite sure how you know which is which, but that's the only one that's got any flowers on it. So the other three, those two are pumpkins, but that one there is another squash, I think, and so is that one, and they don't have any flowers. So I'm not sure if this one is going to be able to pollinate itself, or if it's just going to produce flowers and no fruit. But the cucumbers are doing well. They have got a nice lot of flowers on them, and they haven't been in the ground. Oh, there's a tiny little cucumber there. They haven't been in the ground long, so I'm quite impressed with them. They are doing almost as good as the one in the polytunnel. And talking of the polytunnel, in here it looks like a wild jungle, but things are growing. So these aubergines are not your normal type of aubergines, I've realised. They are a much smaller variety, and I'm not really sure when to pick them. One of them looks a bit slug-eaten. These chilies have really come on in the last week. I'm going to get a lot of nice chilies off there. The melons are kind of, well, they've got flowers on them, and you can kind of see the starting of a melon. I don't know if that's going to grow quick enough. This cucumber has stopped producing any cucumbers, although last week it did have one great big one on it. To be honest, it's looking a bit, the leaves are going a bit yellowy. I'm not sure if that's because it's not got enough water or it's lacking in food or something, so I need to think about that this week. And this pepper, I'm very impressed with this right in here. I've got 2 full-size peppers. I'm just going to leave them a little bit longer in the hope they might go yellow or red, because who like the green pepper? And then up here, the cucumber, hanging cucumber, is doing really well as well. It's starting to grow upwards, which is not to be unexpected. It wants the light. It'll be interesting to see once the cucumber grows on it if it can carry the weight of that. The melons back here I think are in the same position as the other one. There's no actual melons on there yet. And the tomatoes, I think there are a few tiny tomatoes coming on here. These are cherry tomatoes. Yeah, there's one, oh sorry, there's one just, I can't zoom in on there, but there is one on there, trust me. And this one that was just left in the pot, this one's done better. It's got some bigger tomatoes on it, and the rescue one has also got some nice looking tomatoes on it, so that's all doing quite well in here. My carrots down here I'm also quite excited about. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. I think I thinned them out, I made sure they're well watered. Everything I'm not sure about now is when to actually pick them. I can't see any, well, one has got a very slight carrot head showing just above the ground, but the others don't show anything, so I'm not sure if that's a good sign or not, but let me know when I should be picking these, because I don't know how long to leave them. The foliage has grown quite high, so I don't know if that's an indication, but yeah, let me know. With all the summer crops doing quite well, my mind has started turning towards the autumn and what I can grow through to, well, hopefully early winter. So I was raiding my seed drawer the other day, and I've picked out a few that hopefully will do alright this time of year. I've got turnips, they should be quite successful. Going to give those a try. I've never tried to grow turnips before, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on. I've got kale. This again I've heard is very good for this time of year, so I'm going to give that a try. And then the Swiss chard. So this was a real success last year. Well, it's about the only thing that I grew successfully last year, so certainly going to grow some more of that, and that can hopefully go in that front bed again. And yeah, I'll be harvesting that right through till, well, to be honest, that survived right through the winter as well, so it was a great crop. And then I've got, well, that's more Swiss chard, that's just the normal type. And then I've got 2 types of lettuce. These can go in any time of year really. This mini lettuce, salad bowl lettuce, this is really nice. So I'm going to try and keep some of that going right through the winter. That's just little gem lettuce. And then here I've got some choy sum. I tried to grow Chinese cabbage last year. Every time I tried, either the slugs ate it or it didn't do anything. So this year, hopefully, get some better results from that. So with all of these seeds, I'm going to start them in seed modules with a little bit of compost in there, and then 2 seeds in each module. And then once one sprouts, I'll thin them out and get rid of the others. And once they're big enough, they can go into bigger pots. And I'll just be keeping them in here in the polytunnel in the hope that they grow as quickly as possible. Now the good news is that with the rain, it's now loosened up the ground. I'd have to get rid of this Swiss chard root, but that was quite a hefty root. How thick that is. It's a bit like a, well, it looks a bit like a, what do you call those things? Not a turnip, but a parsnip. A bit like a parsnip. This bed through here is now looking much tidier, which is good. I'm just going to cut back these grapes. These are taking over the world. There are some grapes on here, I think I showed before, but they're taking a long time to ripen. But there's more on there this year than I've seen before, so if they do ripen, that could be quite good. I don't know how long I've kept saying this, but today is finally the day I want to get the onions into this bed. It's been a long time, and to be honest, they're not looking great. These were grown from seed. They're already beginning to get a little bulb on them, but hopefully they'll do all right in the ground if I bury them quite deep. I'm going to put 2 rows along the front here, and hopefully then that leaves space for the other things that I'm growing for the autumn. So I'm going to crack on with this. These have a long way to go. They're probably not going to be harvested until, May, June time next year. So got a nice long time to grow big bulbs. And from what I've been told, if you grow them from seed, they do much better than from sets. You get much bigger bulb. So that's what I'm hoping for. Give them some water and then let them rest. It's funny how things all seem to take off at the same time. So my broccoli and cauliflower have all suddenly shot up this week. But this one didn't do much. I'm not sure what's going on with that one. I think that was the one that was grown way back last year, and it was a bit too late in putting it in the ground. But these ones are all doing really well. I can't quite see in there to see if there's any heads, but to me they look really healthy. So I'm very pleased with them. If I get broccoli, or if I at least get 1 cauliflower and 1 broccoli out of these 8 plants, I'll count that as a good result. And also when I cut back the bay tree here, it left quite a big space. But within that space there was this wonderful rosemary, which smells fantastic, so I want to keep that. But I'm also thinking maybe to add some sort of herb garden in the front here. The only problem is I've got this great big tree stump I can't really get rid of. It was an old plum tree, and without getting a big axe or chainsaw or something, I think I'm going to struggle to get rid of that. But I've certainly got decent space there that I could work with between the bed where I've just put my onions and the bed here for the cabbages. There is a nice bit of space there, and I think a little herb garden at the front will be quite impressive. But it's all looking fairly good at the moment. Just the back then needs clearing a bit. I heard someone use the saying that your sweet corn should be knee high in July. So I'm thinking this is hopefully on track, although to me it seems a bit slow. What I am going to do is remove the cover now, because I think we are free from any risk of squirrels or birds pecking at them, at least for now. And I'm going to leave the frame just in case I come back later in the week and find they are being damaged, then I can easily just put the cover back on. But I think it should be alright now. They must have good established roots in there, because they've been in there several weeks. It'll give them a chance to get maximum sunlight onto them and hopefully get them growing. That one looks really good. That's a bit more than knee high. That's more like waist high. Good, I'm pleased with that. The other benefit is it makes it a lot easier for me to get in here and get rid of these weeds, because for some reason this bed seems to grow more weeds than any of the others. This is where I need one of those hoe things. It would make my life a lot easier. We're heading into holiday season here in the UK, so it makes it a bit more of a challenge to get down here on a regular basis. I've had a good day today, got plenty done, got those onions in. That was the main thing. They've been needing to get in the ground for a long time, so I'm pleased with that. And started sowing some autumn seeds, so it'll be interesting to see how they develop over the next few months. But thank you as always for watching, and I will catch you again in maybe not next week, but the week after. Have an amazing summer, and I'll catch you again very soon. Take care.